Israel Kamakawiwo'ole, also known as Brother Iz, possessed a unique talent for captivating audiences with just his voice and a ukulele. His rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow is considered one of the most iconic versions of the song ever recorded and can silence a room full of people in awe. However, Kamakawiwo'ole's impact went beyond his music. He was seen as a state sovereignty activist who fought for the rights and identity of Hawaii's indigenous community. In this way, he is proudly remembered in his homeland as an important figure in the struggle for Hawaiian sovereignty. This is his inspiring story. Before we dive deeper, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for all things culture. Israel Kaʻanoʻi Kamakawiwo'ole was born on May 20 of 1959 in Honolulu, Hawaii, the U.S. state's capital city. At the age of 11, he discovered his love for the ukulele and started playing music with his brother and cousin. While his uncle was a musician who even appeared on the television show Hawaii Five-0, Kamakawiwo'ole forged his own path in music. Although his time playing with his brother and cousin was important to his musical development, Israel Kamakawiwo'ole also drew inspiration from the summers he spent on Niihau with his grandparents. Niihau is unique among the main islands of Hawaii in that it is both the westernmost and the only one that is almost entirely inhabited by native Hawaiians. Only close relatives, approved visitors, government officials, and supervised tourists are permitted to land on the island. At the age of 17, Kamakawiwo'ole founded Makaha Sons with his brother, Skippy, although he had already dropped out of high school and was struggling with drug and alcohol dependency. One night at a graduation party, he surprised his peers by singing, and his friend Dale Beasley vividly remembers the impact his voice had on everyone who heard it. As soon as Israel Kamakawiwo'ole opened his mouth and sang, that whole place went quiet. Every great singer has something special. It's almost a nasal or head tone, and that thing just cut right through the air, stopped everybody in their tracks. Makaha Sons provided genuine Hawaiian music to their fellow Hawaiians during a period when much of the music from the state was commercialized and catered to the misconceptions of mainland America. Kamakawiwo'ole's career and style of music were heavily influenced by his connection to his people and their culture. Unfortunately, he experienced a significant setback when his brother Skippy passed away in 1982 at the age of 28 from a heart attack related to his obesity. Despite the setback of his brother's untimely death, Kamakawiwo'ole persisted and made a life-changing decision in 1988. At 2:30 a.m., he called recording engineer Milan Bertozza from a payphone at Sparky's Bar, a notorious spot in Honolulu known for its cocaine trade, and asked for a meeting. "Please, can I come in?" he pleaded to the engineer. "I got this idea." Brother Iz got his chance, and the rest is history. As Bertozza described his first encounter with the Honolulu native, "And in walks the largest human being I had ever seen in my life. The first thing at hand is to find something for him to sit on. Then I put up some microphones, do a quick sound check, roll tape, and the first thing he does is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. He played and sang. One take, and it was over." Kamakawiwo'ole's first solo album, released in 1990, featured the iconic song, but it was a medley with a cover of Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World and had additional instrumentation. However, the acoustic version that Kamakawiwo'ole had recorded in 1988 was the one that captured the hearts of people around the world. Although Bertozza had kept the recording in his archives for years, it was only in 1993, while working on Kamakawiwo'ole's follow-up album, Facing Future, that he realized that it had to be included. He was right. Facing Future went platinum and became one of Hawaii's highest-selling records of all time. "It was just that special," he recalled. "Whatever was going on that night, he was inspired. It was like we just caught the moment." Israel Kamakawiwo'ole was beginning to build a name for himself, but faced a conflict between his desire for political activism and the pressure to achieve mainstream success after the breakup of his former band, the Makaha Sons of Niihau. Motivated to continue the legacy of his late brother Skippy, Israel used his music to advocate for Hawaiian sovereignty, recording protest songs such as Hawaii 78 and Living in the Sovereign Land. He prominently featured the Hawaiian flag on the cover of his 1995 album, I'ala'i, and spoke candidly about the displacement of Native Hawaiians in interviews, drawing parallels between their loss of land and his own mental and emotional well-being. Although Somewhere Over the Rainbow was widely used in commercial advertisements, Hawaiians connected more deeply with Hawaii 78. This song expressed a sentiment about their history and heritage, imagining what their ancestors might have felt when they saw their land taken over by outsiders whose only concern was making a profit, with no regard for Hawaiian culture. As Israel Kamakawiwo'ole approached the end of his life, his weight became unmanageable, and he was unable to perform without carrying an oxygen tank with him. He spent extended periods of time in the hospital, where his friends would smuggle him Oreos, despite the fact that his brother had died of obesity-related causes. In spite of his physical challenges, Kamakawiwo'ole maintained a sense of inner peace that never wavered. "I'm not scared for myself for dying," he said, "because we Hawaiians, we live in both worlds. When our time comes, don't cry for me." Towards the end of his life, Israel Kamakawiwo'ole used his platform on stage to preach his message of support for Native Hawaiian causes and crusaders. His between-song chatter mixed generic motivational talk with more specific advocacy for issues, such as sovereignty and the displacement of Native Hawaiians from their land. In a controversial move, he even gave his seal of approval to Bumpy Kanahele's occupation of Makapu'u Beach during a 1994 concert. In another one of his shows, he famously told the non-native members of the audience, "Ha'oles, it's nice to have you here, but when your vacation is over, don't forget to go home." On June 26, 1997, the Honolulu Star-Register sadly reported the passing of Brother Is, the renowned voice of Hawaii, at the young age of 38. Kamakawiwo'ole's cause of death was attributed to respiratory failure. The news of his death led to an outpouring of grief as listeners called into KCCN FM radio station for hours in tears. Meanwhile, his loved ones constructed a casket using wood from all the islands. At his funeral, the flag was lowered to half-mast and around 10,000 people gathered to witness the paddling of Kamakawiwo'ole's ashes to Makua Beach. His death was a profound loss for Hawaii, and many hundreds of people paddled alongside his ashes as air horns from trucks on land sounded in respect. Eventually, his ashes were scattered in the ocean, marking the end of a day of mourning for the beloved singer-songwriter. Israel Kamakawiwo'ole's physical stature was significant throughout his life, as he stood at an impressive 6'2" and weighed over 750 pounds on average. However, it was his unwavering love for the Hawaiian people that truly made him stand out. He spent his life advocating for Hawaiian sovereignty against tourism and corporate intrusion, earning him the respect and admiration of his community. His passing in 1997 was mourned by the entire island of Oahu. Today, a statue stands in the Hawaiian island, commemorating his memory. While some may only know him as the voice of various commercials and Hollywood films, to Hawaiians, he was a gentle giant who left an indelible mark on their culture and galvanized them with his advocacy. Did you know the story of Israel Kamakawiwo'ole? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell for more culture-related stories.